Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I I think you guys are in for a short episode
Man,
today.
it's rough in these here hills.
Ugh.
It is. I'm after watching this and watching. We watched what Scooby Goes Hollywood last week and
Yeah,
or last time,
yeah.
and
If you're only
watching
here for the Scooby-Doo episodes, it might as well have been last week for you.
yeah, and watching the first season of Scooby and Scrappy. Man, I'm shocked Scooby-Doo survived.
Yeah.
There is a noticeable drop in quality between the episodes we watched tonight.
Like looking at the rankings, right? Like the Scooby Doo show and Scooby Doo Where Are You are one and two, and the quality between them and what is number three, which is Scooby Doo Laugh Olympics, right?
Ugh.
Mm.
I think that's a vast like gulf. It is so the disparity between those two shows and what we just watched.
What the Laugh Olympics I didn't think were bad.
I like Laugh Olympics, but I think I can admit that it's not nearly as good as the Scooby Doo show or Scooby Doo Where Are You. But
I think compared to the Laugh Olympics, if we're comparing it to the Laugh Olympics, this is worse than the Laugh
no,
Olympics.
this is worse. This is worse. This
Hey, you
is
know what's better than this also?
yeah.
The new Scooby-Doo movies.
Are we just going with our ranking right now? This is the bottom of the list.
Honestly, yes. For Deputy Dusty alone.
It
Yeah.
was it's so bad. I don't know what they were thinking. I guess like we
They
said
won.
last week when we talked about this, or last time we talked about this. Oh, by the way, this is our next Scooby Doo episode. We're talking about Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo from 1980 to 1983. This is seasons two and three of Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo.
Are we done? Please tell
with
me we're
with
done.
Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo.
Yes.
I
No.
don't know, but I think that after this season they go back towards a more not more of like the Scooby Doo Where Are You formula, but they bring Daphne back and they bring the gang back for a couple episodes of the next season, and they do more of like a mystery thing and less of what this was.
Tradition is once again embraced.
It's closer to tradition than what we got here, from what I remember. And then we get like the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo,
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm so ready for
which
that.
is very different, but also I think if
It
I'm just
works.
it's good.
Welcomed.
It's a
13 Ghosts
supernatural
works.
different, not
Yeah.
this bullshit. Although this is also supernatural, but not good.
Not good.
No.
It's very bad. But like we said last week, Scooby Doo was or last time. I'm gonna keep saying last week, so who cares?
It
Um,
was last week. We
It
uh,
just
wasn't
do
last
Scooby-Doo
week.
now.
I know. Scooby Doo was falling in the ratings, and so the executives brought in Scrappy Doo,
Yay.
and it worked. The ratings went up.
Why did it work, Franklin?
I think kids are stupid.
That checks.
I think that's the main reason. I think kids are idiots.
Kids are dumb.
They don't know what good TV is. I think it's also that maybe that we had Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo season one at number four, below Laugh Olympics, but above the new Scooby Doo movies.
I would agree with that still.
I
Do you not
don't.
remember the?
The new Scooby Doo movies. I do. I do remember them. But I think it was different enough, but also similar enough that people liked it, and they're like, "Oh, this new character is kind of fun." As like he's a small dog who's trying to act all tough. That's funny. But then they thought, "Oh, so Scrappy Doo's the answer." So they course corrected way too much and went in the complete opposite direction, making him worse.
Better voice. Far better voice.
I
Yeah.
didn't even care.
Oh, you think it was a better voice? I thought his voice was worse in the
Yeah.
new. That's one of my questions is what do we think of his voice? Because I remember you saying you liked or you didn't like the voice in season one. I thought his
I
voice was worse.
no, this when I go to hell, I'm gonna have to fight Scrappy-Doo's voice in Scrappy-Doo, Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo season 1. That's
But
how I'm gonna have to get out of hell, is I have to fight that voice.
I liked that voice, to be fair. I thought it was way
No.
better.
No.
Oh, wow. We're gonna... All right.
This voice
So,
was a lot closer to what I was used to. Like when I hear Scrappy-Doo, this is a lot closer to the voice.
well, this is
Anna,
the
I
voice
think
going
you're
forward,
wrong.
to be fair. In all the other appearances of Scrappy-Doo, this is his...
Mm-hmm.
It's the same voice actor, but
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
hated this voice.
Yeah, agreed.
I could not do the season 1 voice.
So,
That was like nails on a chalkboard for me.
I liked it. It had that New York accent a little bit.
Yeah, I liked it too.
So,
God.
Hannah, you
What's
should
wrong
like
with
it
you
too.
two?
You wanted to live in New York.
yeah.
I still would love to live in New York City. I just don't like Scrappy-Doo's season 1 voice.
So, technically, this is the 5th incarnation of Scooby-Doo. It runs in the same continuity as Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo season 1, but it is such a drastically different show that we're reviewing it on its own. Because I for one, do not think it's fair to review season 1 and what they do in these 2 seasons that we watched, that we sampled from.
There are some big
in the
changes.
same way. Yes. So the original format of the show, 4 teenagers and their dog and later dogs solving fake supernatural mysteries, gone. Solving mysteries, get that shit out of here.
What's a mystery?
Who likes mysteries? I hate them. No more mysteries. What do we have instead? We've got fucking shorts. We've got half-hour episodes consisted of 3 7-minute shorts that are supposed to be more comedic and involve real supernatural villains. I say supposed to be more comedic because I think I laughed out loud or laughed at all once watching 6 of these shorts.
Was it the rice joke?
The rice rice skating? No,
Yeah.
no. It wasn't the rice joke. I'll tell you what the joke is. It's after, so they group them together. This is a nice little instance of streaming services and how they do things. Hannah, I assumed you watched on Tubi. Am I correct?
I did. Yes, because they just added a bunch of more Scooby-Doo to their free streaming service. So shout out to Tubi. Really making things easy for us.
Amanda, I'm assuming you watched on Boomerang.
Duh.
I originally watched on Boomerang because I didn't think they had it on Tubi because I couldn't find it at first. And so when I went to watch it on Boomerang, I put on the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Is that what yours is called? The Weird Kind? What's yours called, Amanda?
Strange Kind, right?
Close Encounters of the Strange Kind. And I put it on and it said 7 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? I realized Tubi groups them together in the way they were aired, the half-hour, 3 short format. Boomerang packages them as their own separate episodes. Each short is its own episode.
Mm-hmm.
So Amanda only watched that one because I didn't realize that that's how it worked. So that's not Amanda's fault. That's my fault.
That is no one's fault but the streaming services we watch on.
Yeah. I did watch all of them because I use Tubi. So I can give, like, I didn't take many notes. I'll just say, like, a general idea of what the other 2 shorts that were on Amanda's episode were about and the stupid notes that I have. But they're not good. I'll just say that. You didn't miss anything, Amanda.
Good. I'm glad I didn't miss anything.
It's not like you watched that first one that was bad and then, like, the next one was like a fucking genius comedy short.
The only thing you missed was rice skating.
Yeah, you missed Scrappy running on. They're in a Chinese food restaurant and they open a bag of rice accidentally, and Scrappy's running on it and he, like, keeps stumbling around on the rice, and Shaggy yells, "Come on, Scrappy catch up, and he goes, I can't, I'm rice skating. Yeah.
It was a good dad joke.
This version of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo ran from 1980 to 1982 on ABC, originally as a standalone show, but it was then packaged as part of the Richie Rich, Scooby-Doo Show, and Scrappy-Doo block. This continued for 2 seasons and was followed by the Scooby and Scrappy-Doo Puppy Hour for its 3rd, also known as Scooby and Scrappy and Yabba-Doo.
I have no issues with Yabba-Doo. Yabba-Doo is fine. Dusty, on the other hand, can choke.
Yeah, well, I'll
Oh,
tell you.
Jesus.
So there were 99 shorts that were made, 33 episodes total. 86 of the shorts feature Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo, and Shaggy, without the rest of the gang. The rest of the gang only show up in the theme song for the first season, this first season of this that we watch, and then they're gone completely. The other 13 shorts only feature Scrappy-Doo and Yabba-Doo, another uncle. So I guess Scooby's brother.
Yeah, that would be what it implies. Yeah.
Yeah. After airing in the package shows of Richie Rich and Scooby-Doo Show and Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo Puppy Hour, the segments entered syndication as episodes in standard half-hour 3-short formats under the blanket title of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, using a modified version of the intro from the first season. The intro was modified to account for the exclusion of the rest of the gang. They still appear in silhouette on the title cards of the first and second seasons. And in the first season, there is a scene where Scrappy carries Scooby into the waiting room of a hospital where Mystery Inc. is sitting. That shot is replaced later with a shot of just Scooby and Shaggy running from something. They don't show what they're running away from.
That's interesting because Tubi has the season 1 opener.
For all of them, yeah.
And, yeah.
So the first 2 seasons of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo in its new format have no continuity or recurring settings between episodes. But the 3rd season, which is what Hannah watched, places the trio in an unidentified metropolitan area, working as temporary stand-ins at the Fearless Detective Agency for Shaggy's Uncle Fearless, helping to solve local crimes.
I'm glad you have this information because I just watched the episode I was supposed to watch.
Yeah.
I was not subjecting myself to any more of this.
And you hear them talking about Uncle Fearless?
Yeah, I was curious, but I was holding off looking anything up because I figured you had that information.
The Scrappy-Doo and Yabba-Doo segments place Scrappy-Doo living with his uncle Yabba-Doo, the sheriff of Tumbleweed County. So the dog is the sheriff of an entire county. And his
that
deputy
changes a lot of things.
His deputy is named Howdy, who Hannah hates.
Deputy Dusty can suck it.
Or Deputy Dusty, sorry. The cast of the show is 3 people, basically.
Good for them.
Don Messick voices Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo, and Yabba-Doo. He's got a fucking lock on the doos. Casey
No one
Kasem.
else is allowed.
Casey Kasem is Shaggy, and Frank Welker returns to Scooby-Doo, not as Fred, but as Deputy Dusty.
I didn't realize that was who voiced Dusty.
So this
That's a
show
low point in his career.
It is. This show has never, like, in terms of physical releases, because we talk about that usually. They've never released this entire show on its own.
Gee, I wonder why.
They've released a thing called the Richie Rich Scooby-Doo Show Volume 1, which is the first 7 episodes of this show. They released some episodes on, like, compilation DVDs that they have where they just throw some of this on. I don't think any of the ones that we watched are actually on any of those episodes. Oh, no, because the first 7 episodes. So the one that Amanda watched would be on that first Richie Rich DVD. But otherwise, no. And then one episode called Comic Book Caper was featured as a bonus feature episode on the Blu-ray, DVD, of Scooby-Doo Mask of the Blue Falcon, which we will review later on, which is a crossover movie between Scooby-Doo and Blue Falcon and Dinobot.
How can an android dog be so stupid?
Anyway, I think that's all the information I have for you. Like I said, not a lot of info about this show because no one cares. So Amanda, take it away with Close Encounters of the Strange Kind.
I don't want to.
You have to.
I don't. Can't you do it? Why don't you talk about
I
it?
have no notes.
I don't have a lot either.
Tell me what you do have.
It's 7 minutes.
I know, that's fine. Just go with what you have.
Fine. This is not how I expected aliens to look. So the episode starts off with Shaggy and Scooby and Scrappy. I guess out in the wilderness. I don't know. Are they at a campsite? Anyway, they're
Unexplained
roasting
woods.
marshmallows.
They're
What?
camping.
They're just in some
Whatever.
unexplained woods.
So they're camping. Shaggy goes to roast a marshmallow. Scooby takes the hot marshmallows off of Shaggy's stick and is bouncing them between his hand. When Shaggy asks where they go, Shuggy, Scooby. Wow, I'm doing great today.
Who made the
Scooby puts them
decision
behind
to
his
have
back.
3 S names?
Scooby puts them behind his back, and Scrappy eats them while they are behind his back. They lay down to sleep in their sleeping bags, and Scrappy says that, he's going to stay up and look for wild animals, and then immediately falls asleep. Scooby tucks him in. And these fucking weird ass aliens, how would you describe these fuckers?
They just look like short humans.
No, they don't. They have like weird ears.
Humans can have weird ears.
They're the size of toddlers.
I thought they were kind of cute.
Aliens just appear and they see Shaggy and Scooby and Scrappy. This is the only time that I laughed. They're like, oh, look, humans packaged and ready to go. They're like, this calls for a scientific method of selection. And then they do like the eeny, meeny, miny. My mother told me to pick this one.
Yeah, I'm glad that aliens also use eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
It makes me think we could get along. Our races could get along because we both use eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
So they just pick up Shaggy in his sleeping bag. This sleeping bag has to be like the stiffest sleeping bag. I don't know if it's, you know how socks get stiff whenever you like come in them? Men. I'm not a man, so I don't know, but I know.
As the only man on the podcast, never come in a sock. Why is that the first place anyone would think of? That's a ridiculous place. It's absurd. It's an absurd place to do it.
It is. You run out of socks.
Yeah, I need to wear my socks to go out into the world.
I don't know why. I don't know why socks. Well, I kind of know why socks, but regardless, Shaggy's sleeping bag is stiff, like cum socks. Whenever you just leave them out.
He likes to sleep in a stiff bed.
So they just pick him up and take him in, and Scooby sees this, and I think if I remember this correctly, he actually did the dog thing where he had Scrappy by like the scruff of his neck for a second. They go into the spaceship. So they're in the spaceship takes off, and they find that, they're in a spaceship. They find Shaggy. He's still in his sleeping bag, and they have belts around him like they were afraid he was going to go somewhere. I don't know if the spaceship is rocky or whatever, but they pick Shaggy up and they go to exit, and they look down and they're not in, I don't know, Earth anymore. They're in outer space. So they do the whole like gag thing where they're running on air. They look down and then they go right back. And Scrappy's like, "Hey, what gives, Uncle Scoopy? What's up? Why didn't we like go out?" And he's like, "What's up? We're up." the aliens notice that the door opens, and they go and try to find the intruders. And Scrappy, of course, he keeps calling them horse thieves. Shaggy's not a horse. Can somebody explain this one to me?
I think Scrappy is a little bit of an idiot too, just like those kids.
He just keeps saying horse thieves. They're not horse thieves.
He does.
Shaggy is not a horse. Anyway, so the aliens, they do the in and out of doors Scooby-Doo gag type thing. The aliens throw
They have
Shaggy back
no
on-
right to use such a good gag in such a shit show.
That's fair.
Also, is this the first time we're seeing the door gag?
That's true.
That we've seen.
Yeah, that
They're-
we've
Okay,
seen.
fair, very fair. That we've seen. This is the first door gag.
Shaggy's back on the bench and he wakes up this time. He's like, how did I get in here? And of course, he just stays in his sleeping bag and he's just bouncing around. As soon as I saw that he was bouncing in his sleeping bag, I knew he was going to do the inchworm thing, the cartoon inchworm, where he's
You
in the
have
sleeping
to.
bag and he just inchworms.
It's a classic.
I just knew it. I felt it in my bones, and he did. Did it a couple times. He inchworms out of the door, sees that he's in space, and then before he can inchworm back, Scrappy and Scooby run out and take him back. I don't think he would have made it if he tried to inchworm back.
I think he could have inchwormed back. He's a pretty strong guy.
Also, they don't need air in space, apparently.
They weren't out there that long.
Remember that episode of the Magic School Bus where Arnold has like 1 second of exposure to the air and his face instantly freezes?
Yep.
Yep.
That was a nightmare-inducing thing. Hey, let's talk about shows that are better than this.
Anyway,
Coco Melon.
just let me get done with this, okay?
Yeah, sorry, go on.
All right. So Shaggy is like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "We're trying to rescue you." And as they're talking to him, Shaggy just gets taken away again. Scooby and Scrappy find the control room. Scooby basically finds it by crashing into it. And Scrappy's like, "Scooby, I didn't know, Uncle Scooby, I didn't know you knew how to drive this thing." And Scooby's just accidentally pressing buttons. So good thing, in this show, there's no self-destruct button. So this spaceship is going all around the place. At one point, Scrappy is just fucking floating. I noticed that. They pass the Milky Way. Get it? One of the planets starts hula hooping.
I would assume that
Um,
is Saturn.
I don't know. I don't plan it, Hannah. I
We'll
don't
go with
plan it.
Saturn
So
then, 'cause
somehow
that's the Lord of the Rings.
miraculously, they managed to land the spaceship exactly where they were.
That is pretty spectacular.
Scooby's a pretty good pilot, I guess.
He really did
And
know
then
how
they
to
leave
fly
the
that
spaceship.
thing.
And then they leave the spaceship. And as they're leaving, the aliens look out and they're like, "I thought Earthmen would be friendly." And the other alien was like, "With friends like that, who needs enemies?"
What does that
And then
mean?
they take off. It means those friends are shitty.
But they aren't friends. They don't know each
So they're
other.
back at the campsite, and Shaggy's like, "I don't know about you guys, but after that, I'm never gonna sleep like a wink." So then Scrappy's like, "Don't worry, me and Uncle Scoop will make sure nothing happens to you." He looks up, and both Scrappy and Shaggy are asleep. Somehow Scooby-Doo has become the adult,
He is the only adult, yeah.
and that's how the episode ends.
All right. My note for this was I did not laugh once at this.
I laughed at the eeny, meeny, miny, moe thing because I wasn't expecting it.
I laughed at my joke about eeny, meeny, miny, mo, but I didn't laugh at them doing it. Okay, so the other two real quick reviews with Frankie, because I didn't take notes on them really. I just watched them because the episode was like still running, and I was playing a game on my phone. And I was like, I'll finish it. I'll just finish the episode. We had one called a fit night out for bats where the tire goes flat, and so on the yeah, Shaggy is driving the mystery machine. I thought the mystery machine was Fred's.
Apparently not.
So Shaggy's driving the mystery machine. One of the tires goes flat, and they go to this creepy house. And they're like, "Oh, we don't want to go in," but Scrappy's like, "Let's go in, yeah, woo!" and they see a creepy dude there, but the creepy guy's like, I was gonna have a dinner. You guys can make something if you want. And Shaggy's like, all right, I'll go make something. And then the guy goes, oh, I can't wait to suck their blood. Woo! And so he's gonna suck their blood because he's been living off of only tomato juice.
And if you couldn't guess by the way this character is dressed, he's a vampire.
Yeah, he's dressed like Dracula. Like if you imagine a cartoon Dracula, you got it. They go to the kitchen and realize there's only tomato juice and also a box of flour to make donuts. Only donuts, by the way. It literally says donut flour.
I guess it's just add water.
Yeah, I guess so, because they just put it in a pot and then leave, because the vampire turns into a bat to go in and suck their blood. And Scrappy keeps like accidentally getting the bat out of the room. And then they're running away because they realize the vampire is chasing them. And then they run into the human again, or the vampire in his human form. And they're like, yo, dude, there's a vampire in your house. And he's like, this is the one laugh that got me. The vampire says to them, if I might ask, and I might, and I will. How do you know what if someone's a vampire? And Shaggy goes, you can't, they don't have a reflection in the mirror as they're looking in a mirror. And he notices that this guy doesn't have a reflection. That was the one and only laugh I had in any of these shorts. They run away from him again, and the donuts are made, but they got really big. They're huge donuts. And Shaggy's like, I got an idea. And he takes one of the donuts and uses that as a spare tire, and they drive away.
Do you mean he uses the donut
Yeah.
as a donut?
Yeah, I know. It's hilarious. We're all laughing about it. We're all chuckling. It was so funny. It was so comical.
It doesn't sound funny.
It wasn't
or
funny.
comical.
It wasn't funny or comical. The other one is called the Chinese Food Factory, where they get hired. All three of them get hired to be night guards at a Chinese food factory. And they only take the job because the listing says that they can eat as much food as they want while on a shift. And so they're doing the job, and they stop someone from robbing a bank. And then the episode ends, or robbing the factory. And the episode ends with the owner of the factory having a very offensive accent, because I cannot imagine that voice actor was Chinese.
That's fair. That sounds about right.
I have two notes for this entire one. My first note is, oh no, the Chinese food factory, they're in Chinatown. Not a good start to any show in the 80s. And then the other note is, oh no, the accent on the factory owner. So that's my thoughts on that one. In between these two episodes that we watched before Hannah starts her recap, I wrote, this is bleak. This is so bad. None of these shorts are funny. All right, Hannah, with that glowing, ringing endorsement, what are your three shorts?
Yes, so if you listen to our last Scooby-Doo episode, you probably heard Frankie say that I would be talking about a little episode called Bride and Gloom. But before we get to that one, I got two other shorts we got to talk about because they're all connected. We got Scooby and Scrappy-Doo in Cable Car Caper and Where's the Werewolf? So Cable Car Caper, we open in what I assume to be San Francisco. The trio are in an undisclosed location collecting evidence for Shaggy's Uncle Fearless. This is where we get our lore drop of Shaggy has a famous detective uncle named Uncle Fearless who has his own agency. So they're collecting, putting away. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing. They have a bunch of fine china and are putting it on shelving. And we hear a radio broadcast about the city's cable car. Only one cable car in the whole city is running, as the rest have been stolen, with the passengers still on board. Scrappy wants to take the case the minute he hears it, and Shaggy says no. Just flat out, no. Too bad, because the radio voice cuts in and says the Fearless Detective Agency has been hired to solve the case, and Shaggy laments that Uncle Fearless should be the one to take it, but he's out of town and can't do it. Also, it's a foggy night. They point that out. It's a foggy night, and Shaggy doesn't want to investigate because it's spooky out. So we cut to them on the last cable car in the whole city. It's just them and the conductor on board, and gee, wouldn't you know, the conductor's a villain. You can tell from the way he's drawn. He flips a switch and they enter the old underground city where he threatens Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy. They manage to escape because the conductor tries to like run up and grab them, but then he manages to get stuck in one of the cable car's windows. This man does not give a shit because he goes back to driving the cable car deeper into the underground city instead of looking for the trio who just escaped. And he's going to report to someone called Vendetta.
That's a good name.
It is a good name. It's a shame this is the first and only time we see her in any of our episodes, I should say. Because I assume she is a villain that appears frequently.
I mean, her name doesn't show up in any of the research, so I don't know if that's true or not.
Maybe not. The way she looks like she's like a reoccurring villain. Because she's in a full like villain suit, like a whole super villain suit get up. But wouldn't you know it? Oh, go ahead.
She's only in that episode.
Oh, she's only in this one episode. Okay, wow. I feel like she looks like she should be in more. Shaggy, Scrappy, and Scooby are still on the cable car. They just simply managed to hide. I don't know where, but they just managed to hide on the cable car. And as they're driving through the city, the underground city, they spot one of the other stolen cable cars with all the passengers still inside. And you finally meet Vendetta. She doesn't give a shit when the henchman tells her that 3 people escaped the final cable car. No, she's more concerned about getting a ton of gold from a giant underground safe and then using the cable cars to escape on. She just has to wait for Dogface Marcel, the safecracker, to arrive.
I'm sorry. What were those words that you just said to me?
Dogface Marcel, the safecracker.
I didn't like that. Frankie, make Hannah take it back.
I can't do that.
You want to guess who Dogface is?
No.
It's Scooby.
Wait, is it? Oh, okay.
Never would have guessed they had the dog dress up as Dogface Marcel.
Is this guy just really that ugly?
I guess, because Vendetta does not bat an eye. She's like, here's the safe, start working. So he and Shaggy's posing as his assistant. They begin using a nail file to file part of the safe, and they blow the dust and what I'm assuming to be iron shavings right into Vendetta's face. Also, they can cause a distraction for Scrappy to use a grappling hook and swing above the villains and catch them in a net.
It's a good plan.
I guess, but Scrappy has to get in position still. And so Scooby ends up opening the safe through sheer dumb luck. And then he opens the safe and everyone is crushed by the bars of gold, causing Scrappy to enter just a moment too late because the net falls on the gold and the gang is busted. We then get a mini chase scene where the henchman is sent to capture the trio while Vendetta loads up all the gold. And the trio trick the henchman into running into an ice cream parlor and offering him the nastiest ice cream ever. Like, I don't know how old this underground city is supposed to be, but there's just cartons of ice cream sitting in this parlor.
There's got to be some dusty ice cream.
Not spoiled, just dusty.
Yeah.
So they managed to escape, and it hasn't even been like a minute since this like chase scene began because Vendetta arrives and she has all the gold loaded up on one of the cable cars and she's getting the hell out of there. So she takes the henchman, and then she takes the trio, and they run into the and then Shaggy, Scrappy, and Scooby have to follow behind on one of those minor carts you see a lot in Scooby-Doo. I don't know really how to describe it. It's just one of those like wooden platforms that you have that you stand on, and two people are like, I don't know, seesawing on the mechanism that makes it go. You know what I'm talking about when if you see it. So the boys manage to beat the villains to a crossroads of the train tracks, and they trick Vendetta into taking an alternate route. This new route is supposed to lead them straight to the police station. The police station is apparently underwater because it goes off a cliff and into gets stuck on two giant rocks in the ocean.
Yeah, instead of leading the villains to the police station, Scooby, Scrappy, and Shaggy murder them.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's like basically the end. You get a stupid gag, and you end with Scooby Dooby Doo.
A murderer now.
A murderer.
Scooby Doo has committed a murder.
Double homicide.
Maybe not murder. Maybe they get it pled down to like manslaughter. But
When they
like,
say, hey, the dog did it,
yeah, but
that
I
was
can't
insufferable.
believe it. That was. These are all bad. These are all terrible.
We now turn to Where's the Werewolf? We open with an obviously haunted Gothic manor where Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy are gearing up to house sit. This house's address is 1313 Gargoyle Street, and I kind of want to live there. So Shaggy and Scooby are not happy about this job because it's obviously haunted. The house is haunted. And Shaggy remarks that nothing could get him inside the house. Then Scooby is hit by lightning, and Shaggy gets hit close behind as well. So now they have entered the house, although it is against their will. Meanwhile, Scrappy manages to have ran all the way down to the basement and found a costume to scare Shaggy and Scooby with. And it's so scary that Scooby is in shock. So what do they do? What do you think they do, Amanda?
How do you get a great day and out of shock?
I don't know. You give it food.
That's a great idea. But they take Scooby down to the basement to find something to snap him out of it. I don't know why we're going to the creepy basement full of creepy things, but we are. Down there, Scrappy finds Grandma Wolfsbane's hair conditioner, among many other weird oddities. And they use the conditioner on Scooby because that's the first thing I think of when trying to get a dog out of shock.
Yeah, put
Put
hair
some
conditioner
conditioner on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you guys should do with me. If you ever find me in shock, and just some hair conditioner on, I'll be fine.
You
Good to
don't want
go.
us to take you to like Taco Bell or something.
No, the hair conditioner's the way to
Okay.
go.
Now, this hair conditioner, first of all, it's like a putrid green. It's putrid green color. And then you don't squeeze it out of the bottle. You shake it. And then you read the fine print and it says, don't use during the full moon, which just so happens to be tonight. Wouldn't you know this conditioner turned you into a werewolf?
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, so Scooby's now a werewolf. Shaggy does not realize that he has transformed. He takes Scrappy and just starts running away. He leaves Scooby to the werewolf.
Yeah, to be fair, Scooby as the werewolf looks like that's actually really good. He looks scary.
All the budget went into making Scooby a decent werewolf.
The budget for all 3 seasons.
Yes, 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 yes.
And also though, he's only a werewolf in direct moonlight.
Yes, I was just about to get there.
Okay, I
Yeah.
was confused about that.
Yeah, no. Anytime Scooby is in direct moonlight, so like looking at the moon, standing in a patch of moonlight, he's a werewolf. He just in a hall, but like there's no windows. He's Gucci. He's just Scooby.
I don't think that's how werewolves work.
So Shaggy he just decides to bolt even more, and he still with only Scrappy. He takes Scrappy outside and they decide to crash a party and hide. This party is at a frat house, by the way. And when the frat bros see Scooby as a werewolf, they think it's someone playing a trick on them. But then they quickly come to the conclusion that the werewolf is real. So they pull a sack, I'm assuming out of their ass, and try to capture the werewolf to acquire fame and fortune.
See, you don't know this. All men just carry sacks around with them. We just carry a sack with us in case we encounter a cryptid. It's
Okay,
just in case we encounter a cryptid.
maybe
'Cause
you should try to be friends with the cryptid instead of trying to bag and tag it.
no, you gotta capture it and then you can make money off of it. This is capitalism, Hannah. Come on.
Yes.
I'm not taking you to cryptid hunting. I want to be friends with the cryptids.
No, you don't get to be.
We have enough friends. You have me and Amanda. We're good
Yeah,
enough.
that's all you need.
Are we not good enough friends? You need more friends?
I mean, I
Yeah,
never see
Jesus.
you two, so
That's your fault. I can't leave. That sounds like a you problem. You could convince Frankie to visit you, maybe. I convinced Frankie to visit me sometimes.
It's more like emotional manipulation.
It's not emotional manipulation. Don't even emotional manipulation me. Me.
Is that how I sound?
A little bit.
All right. But yeah, that's why they have the sack with them.
okay. I just want everyone to know my dog has decided he wants to lay upside down.
What does that
There's a
mean, upside
puppy
down?
belly. There's a puppy belly that needs petted.
Or are you gonna pet it or
No, I will wait and we will finish these episodes. These horrible, horrible shorts.
They're not as bad as the Scooby Goes to Hollywood.
I think I like Scooby Goes Hollywood better.
I don't think you're absolutely wrong.
I have no idea what I like better. It's so hard to figure out. They're both so bad.
Scooby, Shaggy, and Scrappy are chased back into the haunted house, and Shaggy has realized that Scooby is the werewolf. The frat boys are trying to break in. Before they can do so, Scrappy has the bright idea to cure Scooby. So all three of them head back down to the basement where they quickly create an antidote for Scooby in the basement's chem lab. Because, of course, there's a basement chem lab.
Where else would you have your chem lab?
I like to keep mine in the attic.
Uh-huh.
It's actually probably a better place than all the fumes. Just
I don't know.
If you're Walter White, I believe it's a trailer.
it's an RV, yeah.
I think that's the best place. So the frat boys, who look like they're in their 30s, by the way, overhear the trio's conversation and say they need to prevent the werewolf from taking the antidote because they have a news reporter on the way. So they swoop in through a window and capture Scooby, and then a chase ensues. Scooby manages to get the frat boys into a closet where he hides in a fisherman's boot and then kicks the frat boys in the butt. It's as weird a picture as it sounds, and honestly, it's also a cursed image. I will take a screen grab of Scooby in the boot and torture everyone by forcing them to look at it.
So if you want to be tortured, go to our Instagram page.
Yeah, nothing to see here, pod. Scooby turns into a werewolf once more, and another chase ensues. This time we head outside. Scrappy and Shaggy end up on the roof. They drop the antidote. The frat boys have also fallen off the roof. Scooby ends up on the roof as well by going through the house's chimney. And then he breaks the chimney because he has super strength. And then he falls off into a barrel of water, but thankfully for him, that's where the antidote fell. So by sitting in the antidote water, he's now no longer a werewolf. And then I think the frat boys are tarred and feathered because the reporter they called has arrived and he calls them out on their prank. And then the reporter and a random group of people we've never seen before begin walking towards these two boys pretty menacingly.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get like beat up
Yeah.
by the
Any-
media.
We get the classic Scooby-Dooby-Doo and the short ends, which out of all three of the ones I watched, I like this one the most. That's not saying much.
It's not saying a
Mhm.
lot.
Frankie, what did you think of that episode?
God, it was bad. I think it was just as good as all the other ones, which is not at
Well,
all horrible.
well, it gets worse because
Actually, you know what? It might go a little higher because they had the really cool Scooby werewolf design. That's
yeah,
about its only saving grace.
yes. So our episodes continue to get worse with Bride and Gloom. Oh my God.
Are you not you're not a fan of this one?
Uh, this is the first and only Scrappy and Yabadoo episode we're talking about. The subject matter. Okay, we're just gonna get into it. Amanda, did you watch this one?
I watched my episode. Everything that we've talked about, did not watch.
I figured as much. Can you tell I'm trying to hold off talking about this one?
Talk about it, damn it.
Okay. We're out west with Uncle Yaba and his human Deputy Dusty. Deputy Dusty wears heeled cowboy boots, by the way. They got a pretty decent heel to them in some scenes. I just want to point that out. So, this trio has just finished making repairs to the sheriff's station when a huge boulder comes flying through the air, crushing the whole building. The boulders are being thrown off a nearby cliff by horrible Homer. He's threatening to flatten the whole town of Tumbleweed if all the single ladies aren't sent to him for a bride show.
Beyonce.
Do you think
Sorry, I heard
do you think
all.
Horrible Homer is like his given name or
I guess so, because doesn't he sign it Horrible Homer?
he does, yeah.
I hate it here.
That's pretty mean of the mom to name her kid Horrible Homer.
I mean, I guess it's like how there were all those brothers in the Laugh Olympics, like Dastardly. I don't remember the rest, but like she named one Dastardly, Despicable.
That's true.
Mhm.
I guess this is the same mom.
You guess.
I guess. I don't know.
It would have to be because like
She just hates all her kids.
yeah, who else would name their kids horrible?
Well, I think Dusty is horrible because he has some really, really tiny small dick energy and he does what he's told.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's true.
He's literally going to hold a Hunger Games reaping and send one unlucky lady up to Homer and just call the whole thing even.
All
I kind of
right.
like it. Down
Would
with it.
Hannah, you're the only one who's watched this. Well, not the only one. I watched it too, but so
Hmm.
I can't ask Amanda this. I'm asking you.
Okay.
Would you marry horrible Homer?
No.
All right, there we have it.
And all the other ladies, all the ladies in Tumbleweed
All the
agree.
single ladies.
All the single ladies of Tumbleweed agree with me, and they get the fuck out. And you know what Dusty says? You know what he does? He dresses Yabadoo up in drag and sends him up to horrible Homer.
He's gonna make a human being marry a dog.
I want the record to show officially that I hate this man. I hate Dusty. He was ready to send some poor girl up in the hills to become enslaved to Homer, no problem. But now that it's his dog he's dressing in drag, this is when he decides that Homer's going to be brought to justice.
Did you say that he like if like he didn't send the women up? That
Yes, they
horrible
all run
Homer.
away. They all,
Well, no, that horrible Homer was threatening to destroy the city with a giant rock.
yeah, I
Okay.
said that. Said he's going to flatten the whole town.
I don't know if he
But,
could do that
but
with just like
Dusty
one rock.
never talks about bringing Homer to justice until he's forced to send his dog up.
Yeah, of course.
So Scrappy and Dusty take Yabadoo to the local costume shop, dress him in drag, and his drag name is now Yabasu. They ride up to Homer's cave because Homer lives in a cave.
Just why not?
Yeah. Yaba distracts Homer so Dusty and Scrappy can sneak in. And then Homer calls Yaba ugly. So Yaba begins doing laundry and hides Dusty and Scrappy in the laundry basket. I think the goal is for them to jump on Homer's back and catch him when he's turned around. but it doesn't quite work out, and Yaba is forced to fill the room up with laundry suds to hide his accomplices. We now do the same exact thing, basically, but with a giant plate of spaghetti.
Yeah, I have an issue with this trap.
Is it Scrappy getting covered in pasta sauce?
Well, they make Scrappy into a meatball.
Yeah, they
They
do.
disguise Scrappy as a meatball hiding in this plate of pasta. My problem is they call it the pepperoni pizza trap.
Yaba has pizza dough.
He does, but like it's called the pepperoni pizza trap, and then they present him with a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs.
That's
Jesus.
that is the appetizer.
That was a big appetizer.
Hmm. So while Scrappy is hiding in the spaghetti, Dusty hides in Yaba's dress. And of course, things don't go to plan because while Yaba manages to trap Homer in the giant pizza dough that he's been tossing, uh, Homer is unable to see, but so is Dusty because Dusty has become trapped in Yaba's underwear. And then Scrappy ties up the wrong person with a noodle.
Yeah, those are some strong noodles.
Homer is pissed. He breaks free from the pizza dough and is pissed. As Scrappy, Yaba, and Dusty escape, they climb up a tall pine tree that Homer just starts chopping down with his bare hands. Then Yaba rides Homer like a bull.
Phrasing. Please phrase
Yeah.
that better.
No, you phrased it right.
Yaba rides Homer like a bucking bronco, and
um,
they fall off the cliff.
before all this happens, they do at first handcuff, horrible Homer.
Oh, yes, they do handcuff him very quickly, but he breaks through those just as quickly.
Well, he breaks through by biting the chain. And I put on here, this man's dentist must hate him. Horrible Homer goes to the dentist, like got bits of metal in his teeth. Like, what have you been doing, horrible Homer? What's going on here?
Hey, those handcuffs could be pasta for all we know.
Well, they had metal chain.
It still could be pasta.
They spray painted it silver.
You see, Yaba really wants to be on Is It Cake?
Yeah,
Cake.
this was his audition tape for Is It Cake?
So our villain has fallen off a cliff and through the roof of some poor, strong, independent woman's cabin. She is pissed, rightfully so. And
Mhm.
she starts yelling on about all the things that Homer is going to do. He's going to fix the roof. He's going to fix her fencing. He's going to, I don't know, I think move some hay bales and chop some wood. And this man folds. He's like, I have never seen a more beautiful woman in my life. And this woman is just basically Popeye. She has the anchor tattoo.
I forgot about that. She does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this man has folded. And we end with a yabba dabba doo. That's 7 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back.
More like 21 minutes. And if we're counting that, did you watch both episodes?
I did.
That's more like 42 minutes you're never getting back.
Oh, that's a whole hour.
This was bad. All of it was bad. It was terrible. It made me sad. It made
This
me
is a
almost,
disgrace to the Scooby-Doo name.
it made me almost hate Scooby-Doo.
Mhm.
This is why people hate Scrappy.
It is why people hate Scrappy. And rightfully so. Scrappy deserves to be hated. I think if you don't hate Scrappy, there's something wrong with you.
I didn't hate
I
him in the live action.
That's a different Scrappy.
13 Ghost Scrappy is the only Scrappy I support.
Not live action Scrappy?
No, because I also think live action Scrappy is the Scrappy who shook hands with Ronald Reagan.
You think it's the same one?
I think actually that's 13 Ghost Scrappy as well.
They're all the same Scrappy. I gotta let you know that, Hannah.
True.
Except for live action. I think live action Scrappy is different. I think it's a different Scrappy.
Well, we hated this. Should we just put it at the bottom of our list?
I already put it at the bottom. We did that at the
Okay.
beginning of the episode.
Officially,
We
put it at the
started
bottom of.
putting it at the bottom. Yeah.
Wait, it's at the very bottom? I actually can I make a case that the Hollywood one is way
Hollywood's-
worse?
Hollywood is in its own ranking, though,
Oh.
because it's the movies.
Oh, fine.
So Hollywood, Scooby Goes Hollywood is the #1 Scooby-Doo movie right now, and it will
Don't
be
say
for
that. It's number 2. There is no number 1.
no, it's #1. I'm looking at the list. I'm
It's number
looking,
2. There is no number 1.
I'm looking at. I can send you a picture of the list right now.
I can tell you right now, Frankie.
I have the list.
I don't
It'll
care
be
if you have the
number 2
list.
soon enough.
It will be #2 soon enough.
Not soon enough.
Well, not next time, that's for sure.
We got more Scrappy-Doo to talk about.
We got more Scrappy Dappy Doo to talk about next time.
Mhm.
Are we all excited?
No.
Why are we not
I
excited?
will be happy for the return of Daphne.
Hey, it can only go up from here.
Are you sure?
I can't think of any show that's going to be worse than this. Well, that's not true. That's not true.
We have a while to get to that.
Yeah, we have a while to get to that really weird
Horrible spinoff.
oh yeah, I wasn't thinking of Velma. I try not to think of Velma. I try not to remember that show exists. No, there's that one weird show that looks stupid where it's just Shaggy and Scooby
Oh, I blocked that one out of my memories.
that I don't remember what it's called though.
I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of its name either.
Shaggy and Scooby Get a Clue.
That's also a while away.
Yeah,
We got a lot of good stuff to cover
we do.
before
and,
those.
And Velma.
We're going to get to the golden age of Scooby-Doo soon enough.
Yeah, in those with those movies.
Mm-hmm.
And a pup named Scooby-Doo.
I cannot wait for a pup named Scooby-Doo.
I think personally a pup named Scooby-Doo starts the golden age because I'm not a fan of those 3 movies that they do in that time period, but I know you two are.
What movies? Oh, the Goal School?
The Ghoul School and Boo Brothers and Reluctant Werewolf.
Yeah, they're great.
I'm not a fan of them, but I know you guys are, so I won't yuck your yum.
Oh my
You
God,
better
we're gonna
not.
meet Shaggy's girlfriend pretty soon.
Yeah, Gigi, right? Oh no, Googie.
Googie!
So next time that you hear us talk about Scooby-Doo, we'll be talking about the new Scooby and Scrappy-Doo show, as well as the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries, which are basically the same show. They just changed the name in the middle of the run. But we will be talking about both of them. Hannah will be talking about an episode that has 2 parts of it, so I don't know how good that will be. Scooby the Barbarian and No Sharking Zone.
Okay.
And I'll be talking about an episode called The Nutcracker Scoob, an episode I watched as a child on my Scooby-Doo Winter Wonder Dog VHS constantly. We'll see if
I remember that one.
That's
We'll
a pretty
see if-
iconic episode.
yeah, I hope it holds up. We'll see if that part of my childhood is ruined, just like Scooby Goes Hollywood was ruined.
I hope for your sake it's not. I hope it holds up.
Apparently, Frankie, you were a dumb kid.
I was a dumb. Well, all kids are dumb.
I don't think I was dumb.
All kids are dumb.
Incorrect.
How long did it take you to learn 2 plus 2?
Me?
How
or
long
him?
did it take you to learn 2 plus 2, Amanda?
Not that long. I was really good at math up until we got to trig.
You had to have done something dumb as a kid.
You're right. I did. I refused to step on ants because I thought one of them could be Princess Ada from Bug's Life.
That's not stupid. That's just kind.
That's
Thank
not
you.
kind. Step on ants. They're horrible creatures.
What else did I do? I believed, because I didn't understand how the moon works. I believe that the moon followed me for a little bit.
That's adorable.
Thank you. And I thought we were friends.
How do you feel now that the moon doesn't follow you?
He does still. Everybody just thinks that that's just how he is, that he just revolves around the earth. He's actually just following me.
The moon is a her. Don't misgender the moon.
Are you
Yeah.
sure the moon's a hot?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sokka didn't lose his girlfriend for you to be disrespectful. All right.
No,
Yeah.
the best joke all episode.
That was really good.
God.
I cried when that happened too.
Yeah, and you're gonna disrespect her? How
Do you
dare
remember
you?
what her name was?
Yue.
It was you. Yue, yeah.
Yue. I remember what her name was. Yeah. Avatar: The Last Airbender fan right here. Only the animated show. Not a fan of that fucking shitty M. Night Shyamalan movie. Probably wouldn't be a fan of the live action series if I watched it.
Have you watched it?
No, I refuse to because I think the people who made it are idiots.
It's sitting
how have
in
the
my.
reviews been?
What'd you say?
How have the reviews been?
Mediocre, I think. Mediocre to bad.
I think it leans a little to poor.
Yeah. Like, do you know that there was a news report, right, when it first got announced that the original creators were working on it. I was like, oh, that's really good. And then there was a report after that that they left. And I was like, oh no, why did they leave? And then there was a news report right when they were really promoting the show
Mm-hmm.
and talking to all like the creators and all the actors and stuff. What the creators were like, yeah, so we took the show and we were looking at the original and we thought that we should change this. So we made Sokka no longer sexist
That was the best part.
in the beginning of the show because sexism is wrong in 2024. I'm like, well, it was wrong in like fucking 2007 when the show had originally aired too. But like, all right.
The whole that was his character growth though.
Yeah, that's the point. It's not the point that people love Sokka because he's a sexist. They love him because he starts as a sexist and realizes, oh wait, I shouldn't
I'm gonna
be
drink
like
my
this.
respect women juice.
Yeah, I'm gonna respect women. I shouldn't be like this.
Have you seen my girlfriends? They're all strong women.
And he becomes great and he learns and he has a character arc and growth. And they said, nah, we don't want that here in this house. So I'm probably not gonna watch it unless someone ropes me into it, but
Why does it sound like I'm the one who's gonna rope you into it?
well, it's not you. It could be. There's multiple people who could rope me into it.
I'm not gonna rope you into it.
There's two people that could rope me into it.
Avatar live action watch party, Frankie. Me, you, and Amanda.
I don't think Hannah's one of those
Woo!
people. Is Hannah one of those people?
I wasn't counting Hannah, but I'll add Hannah. I'll add three. There's three people.
I love the original series, so I should be on that list.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if you'd want to watch it.
The live action one.
The live action one.
It is sitting in my queue on Netflix.
That means nothing. I have like hundreds of things sitting in my queue on Netflix.
I
Yeah.
just cleared it out yesterday and I kept it.
Oh, I never do that. I never clear up my queue. Things get added to Netflix, and I add the only time things get out of my queue is when they leave Netflix, not because I chose to take them out.
I agree.
I could have watched the show 90 times, and it's still gonna be in my queue.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of anyone cleaning up their queue. This is amazing, Hannah. You're a rare creature.
I am.
In fact, I don't think the live action Avatar is in my queue, and I won't add it. Anyway, that's the end of this episode.
Question.
Oh, yeah?
Do we think the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender is better than these episodes of Scooby and Scrappy-Doo?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so much shit on Netflix. Most of that is better than what we just watched.
That is saying something.
Like, that, it was so bad. It was so bad. Terrible. Some of the worst stuff I think I've ever watched. It ruined my mood. I like everyone to know that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't watch these episodes of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that's our recommendation. I think that's like a medical recommendation too.
If you have an hour to live, watch literally anything else.
If you have like only 7 minutes to live and you can only watch like one of these shorts, don't watch anything for those 7 minutes.
Don't do it.
Go on TikTok.
Those 7 minutes will go by fast. Maybe
Yeah.
you want to slow them down though.
That's the end of this episode. Hannah, you're next.
I'm
Mhm.
next, and I'm gonna bring the longest episode we've ever seen to Nothing to See
Oh,
Here.
oh no. Don't.
Amanda, you've been asking for a truly scary, spooky story, so I'm gonna bring you a haunted house. No response from Amanda.
Sorry, I had to mute myself because my mother was calling my name.
Hannah's gonna bring you a haunted house, and by that she means she's gonna put ghosts into your house.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. You are moving, so I should do it to your old house.
Well, I'm moving next weekend, so if
Well,
you
I
were
can
gonna
do it
do it,
before then. There's always time to talk to the dead.
That's true. You should always make time for the deceased.
yeah, okay, I'll get right on that.
What haunted house are we talking about? Or are you just gonna leave that?
I think I'm gonna leave what haunted house a surprise till next time.
I will say this. I know what it is.
You
I
do
pay
know what you
I pay
do.
attention to Instagram.
Yeah. So maybe if you
Was
saw
was
one
it
of our
on
stories,
Instagram?
It was on
I posted
one
a
of
little
his
hint.
stories, yeah.
I posted a
Yeah.
little hint to our stories.
By the way, though, take that back that you say longest episode as the editor of this podcast is listening to you say that.
Okay.
What was the?
What do I gotta beat?
What do you have to beat?
Yeah.
Well, this is as of what's uploaded, because like I don't know about what we have like in the can.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
The longest episode that we've uploaded as of May 19th, when we're recording, is an hour and 38.
Oh, I'm gonna beat that, no
Yeah, an
problem.
hour and 38 minutes.
I'm gonna beat that, no problem. I have like 15 pages of notes.
Yeah, no, take it back. I'm
The
trying to
hour,
sit here.
the longest episode that we have is the Doctor Who episode.
We're gonna
It,
record a 3-hour episode.
that's not happening. I will make you stop and we'll do a part two.
No.
I will
No.
force a stop. The
Thank you.
longest episode on the show's page is actually the bonus episode that I uploaded, which is an hour and 52 minutes. But you two weren't a part of that. And I also took like 3 months to edit that. So these ones have to get up weekly.
I have 15 pages of notes.
Oh my god. Read fast. Learn to be a speed talker.
I can't wait to torture you all.
Well, with that, with the promise of torture next week, let's all take care of some business. If you like the show and you are listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with friends on the YouTube channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you know when a new episode is up every Wednesday at a varying time in the morning, usually 7:30 a.m., but it varies. Sometimes I spice it up and put it up at 7:42 a.m. Make sure you're paying
Ooh,
attention. Yeah, I know.
spicy.
If you're listening to us on Spotify, remember to leave us a review and maybe leave a little answer the question on the episode that says, "What do you think of the episode?" Answer that little Spotify question right there. We'd appreciate that. That'd be fun.
Mhm.
And remember, like I said with the YouTube, share this with your friends, with your family, with anyone you can think of. But share it around so we can get more listeners and more people who want to support us and we can do fun things.
Yeah.
If you would like to send us an email asking us a question, giving us ideas for an episode, just giving us some commentary on the episodes that we've already aired. If you would like to do that, you can send us an email. Oh, more importantly, I think I already said this, but I'll reiterate it. Asking us a question. We like to answer listener questions. That would be fun. So send us an email over at
Nothing to See Here podcast at gmail.com.
if you would like to see some fun memes created by Hannah, if you'd like to see some great art created by Amanda, and if you'd like to participate in a weekly quiz every Friday afternoon on the latest episode release, then you can do so over on our Instagram, which is
Nothing to See Here pod. You will see
And
a cursed image of Scooby-Doo in a boot.
yeah, that's what we all want to see. Cursed images of Scooby-Doo in a boot.
Yeah.
You can find our email and our Instagram in the episode description below on YouTube and the episode info over on Spotify. And I think that's all the business to take care of. So, saying goodbye and good night, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I gotta go like rinse my brain after watching one of these episodes. Don't do this to yourself.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.